I have had the Pixel 7 for 2 weeks and have been posting daily videos based on my experience. Here's my 2 weeks recap. Stay tuned to the end of the video to see if the Pixel 7 will be the right phone for you. In terms of photo qualities, Pixel 7 is one of the best. Apple, Samsung, and Google can't go wrong with either one in the smartphone world. Video quality is pretty decent as well. When there's good lighting outside. It does struggle a little bit when it's cloudy or shortly right after the sunset. Video quality does get a little choppy, so I would avoid night video when possible. Night photography is not bad though. I wish the frontal camera was a little bit wider for videos. Overall, although the Pixel have great cameras in general, it lacks all the fun and useful features like Samsung cameras. For example, you can't switch between the front camera and the back camera. If you're already in the middle of recording a video, you have to stop and then manually switch the cameras. Or I guess you can turn your phone around if you're already using your back camera. In the Snapchat app, you can still switch between both cameras as needed. Just a little bit weird that in the native camera, you cannot do that. It is something minor, but still something that I notice. For battery life, I have done a pretty extensive coverage over the last few weeks. It is an all-day work battery if you're not using the phone. On a work day, I can get anywhere from 10 to 12 hours. But if you're actively using it, for example, if you're out and about on the weekend, taking a lot of photos and videos, I lose about 10% battery an hour. So if you are always using it, you probably get around 8 hours of battery life. If you're traveling around a lot, I would try to charge it every opportunity that you get, just to make it through the day if you plan to use the phone a lot. Pixel 7 have a 4300 milliamp battery. You can charge it up to 50% in 30 minutes. That is pretty standard these days with a lot of the high-end flagship phone. It does support fast wireless charging if you're into that. The native recording app is something I am starting to grow fond of by week 2. All the AI used for transcription is pretty amazing and accurate. I've been using it during my work meetings so I don't have to take down all the notes. It gives me time to just sit back and understand the big picture rather than frantically typing to try and take down all my notes. When my manager asked me what did this person say about a particular topic that I did not remember, I easily just went back in the recording app, searched the specific term, and it takes me right to the conversation where the person was talking. The recording app is pretty taxing on the battery though, but if I'm using it for work, I can always charge my phone since I'm at my desk anyways. This may be the main feature that I may consider keeping the Pixel in the long term. I'm not sure if any other high-end flagship phone offer the same ability. I really look forward to the update in January where they are able to distinguish the speakers. So for now, you basically just see a giant blob of text regardless of who is speaking. But that might be game changing whenever that feature do come out. I wish this app was around when I was back in school. Would have been super helpful for all the webinars and would have made taking notes a lot easier. In terms of the processor, the G2 is super efficient and fast, no lag or stutter whatsoever. The thought never even crossed my mind just because it's so seamless. In the early days of Android, I remember even using all my favorite Galaxy phones, it always gets slow and laggy over time. This is not the case for the Google latest flagship, which comes in at $600 and is an awesome price for a powerful phone. Before using the Pixel 7, I came from the Galaxy A53, which costs about $550 at retail price. And the Pixel 7 is a no-brainer upgrade, and I would recommend it over the Galaxy A series any day. I would just spend the extra $50 and it's totally worth the upgrade just in terms of performance, daily usage, and just quality of life improvement. Save yourself the frustration and just go with the Pixel 7, which offer high-end flagship value at a slightly above mid-range phone price. In the age where Samsung and Apple are trying to push phone that costs $1,200 and $1,800, I think this $600 Pixel 7 is an absolute steal in terms of value. I think the Pixel 7 is much better value than the Pro because it is $300 cheaper. And for the Pro, you're getting 120 Hz instead of 90 Hz. I personally don't think it is that much of a difference, but if it means a lot to you to have all the high-end spec, all the power to you. I also think that the Pixel 7 is an easier phone to hold and manage. It's still a big phone, but still manageable with one hand. I feel like the Pixel 6a is a little bit too small, and the Pixel 7 Pro is a little bit on the larger end, which will require two hands to use it most of the time. And if you do not need the macro camera, I don't see why you would want to pay more for the Pro. I mean, the Pro does offer a little bit of spec bump in terms of a little bit faster speed, a bigger battery, but it's also a bigger screen, so the battery life ends up being pretty similar anyways. So there is my whole spiel on why you should go for the Pixel 7 instead of the Pro. But if all the above features do matter to you and you think that it's worth the extra $300, then don't let me hold you back from greatness. For the bad with the Pixel 7, I would avoid the black color unless you're planning to slap a case on it. It attracts a lot of dust around the camera bar, and even the speaker mic area, the gap is a little wide. It can pick up dust too. I'm not sure if this is going to have long-term impact. I do not think it will. Although by day 13, I did notice some speaker quality issues. When I was listening to podcasts or music at high volume, it would start crackling.
Good to start the season, and then has been quite bad. His first games, 23 points, 25 points, then 14, 8 and 6, 22, 15 and 4, like great games. And that has meant the ranking has come back from top 20 to top 70. And we just realised that players like this, in different roles, things are going.
My theory is water is probably getting inside of the speaker or something. I do have my phone in the shower when I'm listening to music. It seems to clear up by day 14 when I stop leaving it in there, but just something to monitor and be aware of. I've seen quite a few people asking me about modem and overheating issues. Hasn't happened to me yet. I use my phone pretty often. Maybe there's once or twice where it got a little bit warm after I'm charging it, but on a day-to-day basis, it hasn't been an issue for me. In terms of build quality, it has a glossy glass back. It is super reflective, have Gorilla Glass Victus in the front and back. Super strong glass, but it will still shatter if you drop it. 6.3 inch screen, a little bit smaller than the Pixel 6 from last year, but not that noticeable. It is still big and bright enough to see in the sun with no issues. Comes at 128GB base storage, which is standard these days. 8GB of RAM as well, which is more than enough. Good thing about being a Google phone, you do have the latest Google software, unlike the Samsung offering where they're still going through beta phases or something for the latest Galaxy S22. So if you want Android 13 on other manufacturers, probably have to wait for the S23. The speaker on the Pixel 7 is pretty loud as well. Even the notification by default can even say obnoxiously loud. Sometimes I have to turn down the volume just because it will startle me occasionally. For quality life improvement, I think they made some good upgrade compared to the Pixel 6. The fingerprint sensor is faster out of the box, so no complaints from me there. I remember last year when I used the Pixel 6, it took like a month for them to finally upgrade the fingerprint. And it's something that, even though it's just like a millisecond slower, it adds up throughout the day and it's enough to feel frustrated and annoyed by it. Face Unlock is new this year as well for the Google Pixel 7. It is super fast and you can turn off the lock screen as well, so it can jump straight to the main screen if that's what you want. Some people like the extra layer where they want to swipe. For me, I just want it to go straight to the home screen, which it makes it feels much faster. So there you have it. Those are some of my initial thoughts on this phone after having it for 2 weeks. I do like it a lot in terms of performance. Battery life could be better. I always have a charger handy, so it's okay for me. I used the Galaxy S22 and even the S22 Ultra and had similar performances as well. I think it might just be an Android thing, even though I love Android phones. Other than that, no other really major complaints from me. There are some design flaws just in terms of picking up a lot of dust, which annoy me the most. I'll continue to post the daily videos if you guys are interested. Please check out day 11 if you haven't already, and like and subscribe. Turn on the bell notifications so you don't miss any of the video drops. Let me know if you will be getting the Pixel 7 or if you have it already. How have your experience been? Appreciate all the love and support so far in the comments, and see you guys in the next video.